Let's talk about Return of the Obra Dinn and economic alienation. First, a quick rundown of Return of the Obra Dinn. You, dear gamer, are an insurance adjuster, and your job is to find out how everybody aboard disappeared or died. You are given a book and a mysterious clock, the Memento Mortem. Whenever you find a corpse on the ship, you can use the Memento Mortem to wind back time to the moment of that person or animal's death. Solve the mystery of the Obra Dinn. Identify each crew member and how they died. If you haven't played Return of the Obra Dinn, I really recommend you do so. It's really something special. Lucas Pope, the developer of Return of the Obra Dinn and his previous game, 2013's Papers, Please, has a real talent for capturing the stakes and the human element behind administrative jobs. Now, I have kind of a weird reason for being excited about Papers, Please and Return of the Obra Dinn, and that is I'm an accountant. And at least the kind of jobs I used to do were very similar to the insurance adjusting shown in Return of the Obra Dinn, without, the magic, I guess. Based on the jokes people tell me about accounting at parties, the perception of auditors, accountants, financial analysts is that they spend all day looking at really abstract numbers. But that's not really the case. People and the work they do are what produces data sets. And so I'd often go talk to those people. I'd learn what it is they did for work and what produced the numbers I saw, what pressures they were under. This brings me to Papers, Please. Papers, Please features a border security clerk in a totalitarian nation who is trying to juggle the pressures of keeping a job that doesn't quite pay enough, but which is also the target of terror attacks or criminals or freedom fighters, depending on your perspective, trying to get through. You have some freedom to follow your conscience, but you have to be at least a little bit good at the job or else you'll lose it, with disastrous consequences for you and your family. What Lucas Pope does is he de-alienates very data-driven, very administrative jobs. See, the whole point of producing a data set, which is the entire goal of Return of the Obra Dinn, is so that you can isolate information so you can extract meaning from it. But when you produce a data set about people, you necessarily strip away a lot of the humanity from it. Accountants don't always analyze currency, but it is the primary unit we do use. The whole function of currency is to make conversion between calculations for labor, finished goods, and unfinished goods easy. For instance, you don't have to know off the top of your head how many days labor an iPad is worth. You can just use the inbuilt algebra of currency to do that math very quickly. So actually the point of an accountant's job isn't money per se. Money is just an algebraic convenience. We accountants use mathematical units, money, that treat people and their labor as equivalent to objects, not because it's fun to do that or because we think that is what should happen, but because we are describing what a business does. In this way, the use of currency, even gathering data, can be really dehumanizing. It is literally alienating. And alienation, according to Marx, is one of the key features of capitalism. When I first heard the term, I was a little bit intimidated. I thought maybe it meant something really abstract, which needed a lot of defining. But it doesn't really. It's separation from other people. It's the fact that we are forced to work in order to eat, and therefore we participate in work where we are just one cog in a machine, where we are producing only one small piece of a finished product. And so we don't have any relationship to that product. We don't have any relationship to each other. And it makes us less able to understand what we owe each other, how to be kind to each other, what we produce, what our impact is in the world. The ending of Return of the Obra Dinn plays with alienation. The truth of what happened on the Obra Dinn is a great deal stranger than the standardized format you must enter your findings into. And that means the company you work for gets things wrong. All context for most deaths is stripped away. The captain was defending himself from a murder attempt during a mutiny. Doesn't matter. All killing is treated as murder. This means some families of men who didn't do anything wrong don't get a payout. And the bigger mystery of why the Obra Dinn disappeared and why it's returned goes completely undocumented. The form your labor takes in return of the Obra Dinn is set by someone else who set the boundaries of the data to be collected, limited by a profit motive. The mystery of the mutiny against the captain, the Kraken, the Deep Ones and their monstrous crab-like steeds, and the treasure that started this all becomes a few lines on a spreadsheet with no room for humanity or anything else. Thanks for watching. If there's any game you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments below. And here are my Patreon subscribers. Have a good night.